Hey everyone, it's Gary Anderson here from Gary East Sketch Cards. Hope you all had a good couple of weeks. Welcome to episode 20. This week I'm doing a sketch card of Glenn from The Walking Dead. I haven't done any Walking Dead sketch cards yet. I've kind of stayed away from it, and not because I haven't wanted to do a Walking Dead sketch card or two. It's just I haven't gotten around to it, I guess. So this week I wanted to do it. So this sketch card is based on the actor who plays Glenn on the television show. If you don't know already, his name is Steven Yeun. He's kind of the heartthrob of the show, if you will. And the reason I chose Glenn as the first sketch card to do in this series is because of a little something that happened back in 2014. My wife and I decided we were going to go to Walker Stalker, which is a Comic-Con style convention that had a bunch of the actors from The Walking Dead and a few other horror movies and TV shows and things like that. And we kind of decided at the last minute we were going to go. So we went to Chicago and went to the Sunday con, if you will. And the convention center that it was set up at is basically the convention hall at one end of this large hallway. And at the other end is this T-junction that goes from a parking garage and goes to a parking garage and to a hotel that's adjacent to the convention hall. So we parked in the garage. We start going down this hall, and we'd been there many times for like business conventions and things like that. So we kind of knew our way around. And we got to the T-junction, and we were about 25 yards from the T-junction. And somebody comes around the corner from the hotel, from the opposite hallway. And I just happened to look up at the last second, and I see this guy texting, and it's Steven Yeun. It's actually Glenn from The Walking Dead walking right toward us. But he's by himself. He doesn't have anybody. He's just there. He's just kind of texting. And I kind of just stared a little bit. I'll be honest, I couldn't help myself. I was kind of starstruck at that point, and he was walking right toward us to go to the main hallway as well. So he basically looks up, we make eye contact, and he has this, all of a sudden, like this look of crap, I'm busted, like, oh, that kind of thing. And I just sort of kind of gave him a nod, a wink, and smiled, and turned down the other hallway. He was still about, 10 yards away from it. And I'm like, holy crap, that was friggin' Glenn walking right toward us, again, by himself, whatever. So I turned to my wife and I'm like, did you see the guy who was coming down the hallway in front of us? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, that's Glenn, right? And she's like, no. And I'm like, yeah. And we had this kind of like 5-second interchange of yaha, nuh-uh, yaha. So as we're making our way toward the main convention hall, we decide we're going to turn around and make sure that I'm right and she's wrong or whatever, I don't know. But we turn around and I'm thinking he's going to be like 50 yards behind us now, because there's nothing, there's no way, he's busted. There's no way he's going to walk with us. Turns out he closed the gap and started walking right behind us. And when we looked back, he looked up again with that busted look on his face. And my wife, without missing a beat, looks him dead in the eye and says, so you're basically using us as cover then? And he just kind of shrugs his shoulders like, yeah, And then he proceeded to introduce himself. He shook our hands. He's like, hi, my name is Steve. And for about the next 4 minutes as we were walking to the main hall, we had probably the most pleasant chat with a celebrity that I think I've ever had in my life and probably ever will have in my life. But he was really cool, you guys. It was, he asked us where we were from. We said we were from the suburbs of Chicago, and he's like, oh, northwest suburbs, southwest, and we're like, well, you sound like a local. He's like, well, yeah, I lived here a couple years. And as it turns out, he was part of the Chicago improv troupe for a while. And, there's a lot of, he had a comedy background in that, he was part of an all-Korean improv group as well. But, he lived in Chicago for a while, so we were like, really? And he was just a genuinely nice human being, very pleasant human being, very interested in knowing who we are and, trying to feel us out to make sure we're not the real thing. Because the last thing you want to do at something like that is like, hey, everybody, look, it's Steven Yeun, hey! And thankfully we didn't do that. I know I was like freaking out the whole time. I really wanted, an autograph or a selfie or something like that, but everybody had kind of established right then and there that, hey, it's all cool. We're not going to tell anybody who you are. We're not going to freak out and go fanboy and fangirl on you. But I did mention, I'm kind of surprised they didn't send, a security guard or a handler or something your way. Because, you're by yourself. And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and was like, it is what it is. And once we got to the convention floor, we couldn't go in without our tickets. He had an all-access pass, so we shook hands, said goodbye. He thanked us for being very cool, and we thanked him for being super cool. And we basically pointed him in the right direction to get to the main hall, and then we moved on with our day. And I gotta tell you, it was the coolest part of Walker Stalker. We walked around, we met a few artists, we saw the tables and all the people that were there to see the celebrities, and just nothing beats like that chance meeting with Steven Yeun. We went last year in 2014, we went this year in 2015, and we don't have any better stories from those shows than that right there, meeting Steven Yeun. And he was a decent, wonderful person, and just a pleasure to talk to. And Steven, on the off chance that you're watching, you rock, you're awesome. Thank you again for being so hospitable to us, and just thanks for being overall super cool. So there we go. If you meet anybody famous, just be cool around them, and chances are they'll be cool around you, everybody. There you have it. So, thank you for watching this video. Please like it, share it. If you like the channel, please subscribe. And I guess I will see you next time on Gary E. Sketch Cards. Till then, keep doing your best and keep trying to improve. And your art is awesome. Here we go. Take care. Steven Yeun, you rock, man. See y'all next week. Peace.